How did this come about, by the way? How did you guys started together in Boston, right?
Yeah.
A quarter of a century ago.
A quarter of a century ago.
I walked into an open mic night. I saw Joe up on stage. He was hilarious, and he had a really, really hot girlfriend. And I was
true.
like, this
There you go.
guy must be doing something right. So
Is that true, Joe List?
I
Hot
had
chick?
some really don't judge based on my wife now.
What are you talking about? Be silly.
I used no. Sarah's a hot ticket herself.
Smoke show.
Hot
We love her.
broad.
Smart, smoking hot broad, great body, nice tits, perfect butt.
One of the funniest.
Got a great body, buddy.
She's got it. Right?
That's one of my favorite delivered line. Slaps him on the back.
Also, a line I use the most maybe is Kramer going, "All right, show's over." But anyways, yeah, I had some hot numbers, and in high school, I started in high school, fresh out of high school.
And how old were you when you started?
I was 25.
And what's the age difference?
7 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're
7 years.
Tom, you're 7 years older.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Are you a seasoned vet somewhat in Boston at this time?
No, I mean,
No,
no,
I think-
we were just starting out.
Okay.
Like I started when I was 25.
Okay,
And,
all right.
He had started just before me.
I think I started just a little bit before
Like
you,
a
a couple
month,
month
yeah,
or
month.
two.
Okay.
And
What grade are you in high school when you start? You start your senior year?
No, I graduated, and this is what I tell every young comic if they want to do comedy. I say, start now, because no matter when you start, you wish you started earlier. Because I started after I graduated. Looking back, I was like, I could have totally just done this in high school also.
Right.
So I was a kid. I was 18, and then I met Tom, and Tom was, partied, and I was like, I like this guy.
That's how you guys. That was the bonding.
Well, yeah. Do you want to?
we drank a lot, and I don't know, we do crazy shit and steal shit and go to
Sure.
strip joints and.
Well, Tom.
Calling it a strip joint is old school.
Oh, we went to titty bars all the time, and we had fucking speed dial strippers that came to our house.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Like we would do it so regularly that it was like an in-call service. They would come to your house, and we get the double. You save if you get an extra stripper.
Yeah.
Extra stripper?
And so we would get two girls to come over, and they would tell stories about our house instead of the other way around. Like we weren't like the next day like, oh, wasn't that fucking crazy? The strippers were like, that was fucking crazy.
It was wild. But I remember one of our first times hanging, Tom worked at a car lot, had like a used car lot.
Oh, yeah.
From
Well,
the age
you-
of 3 to
You
30.
had? Wait, what do you mean had a used car?
I grew up on a used car lot. And,
I think they talk about this in you talk about
That's
this in the
right. I
documentary.
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna have to ask any of those garbage questions. I
Garbage.
grew up on a used car lot.
Okay. What was the building of the car lot? Was it just like a trailer? Like one of those?
There was many iterations of it.
Okay.
Originally, it was my father I grew up on my father's used car lot, and then he sold that. We got a different one, and then when I was old enough, I kind of ran the car lot because he was crazy. Which, if you watch the movie,
Sure.
I mentioned how crazy my father was.
How were you at selling cars? Pretty
I
good?
was pretty good. I actually.
Come on.
That's
Really?
a guy, dude. If you're in Boston and you're in the market for a used car, that's the guy you want to buy
He
it
could
off.
sell water to a dolphin, this guy.
What do you say we get a couple of bees?
Yeah.
You like strippers?
I sold a car to a stripper, to the one that we used to visit up on
Bethany, body glove girl.
Body glove girl.
don't know.
Yeah.
You two are a
Also,
couple
to
of creeps.
say visit seems like she kept her clothes on the whole time.
Well, we would walk in the strip club, and it would like midday. There's no one in there, and she's on stage, and there's $1 on the stage, and we'd walk in, and she would just fucking have a party and start like celebrating our arrival.
Couple of high rollers like you.
No, we weren't high rollers. Like,
I'm aware of that.
Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't rolling in there with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Well, the best one was we went to the Squire. No, it wasn't the Squire. It was the other one, the Cabaret. There was the Squire, which we called the Squid, and the Cabaret, which we called the Cab. And then there was King Arthur's, and we can't talk about
afford
that on
that.
YouTube.
This is what the two of you were doing?
Yeah, a lot. But we went there. It was New Year's Eve, and they opened at noon. And we got there at like 11:55, and the guy was like, all right, no one's here, but you can come in. So we sat at the bar and put our dollars on the stage. And literally, this sounds made up. A stripper walked in a fur coat with a scarf, and I yelled, ready when you are. We beat the strippers, too.
I'm wicked hot over here.
There was
Wait.
no music playing.
No.
We were just sitting
Are you
around
dating
the
this hot
stage.
chick when you were going to the strip club?
No, that was my high school girlfriend. Once she saw me with him, she was like, I'll see you later.
This guy, also, Joe's 18, hanging out with a horny 25-year-old.
And you two live together.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's where you had the strippers come over.
Yeah.
And you would just have them, without getting too graphic, you just have them do a dance for you, and that's it?
Are you hooking up with these broads?
yeah.
No, we had a little. We
Yeah,
had
the
a
way they said that was for sure.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, why not just get a hooker?
No. It was funny. Like because none of us had any money. So if you get 8 guys and everyone throws up $20, you can get these broads to show up at your house.
He's saying it like he's cracked the code.
And so we would do that, and we even had it set up
these
where
broads will come over your house.
we had a karaoke machine, and my buddy Dave would he'd call their dance like a play-by-play. He'd be like, and now she's putting the dildo on her head, and blah blah blah. And
I think I know her.
it was pretty awesome. He would do strip club DJ in my house
That's
through
a
a
good
karaoke
time.
machine.
And every once in a while, a different girl would come because we had regular girl. One would come and go, all right, we got to get this thing started. Where's the bachelor? Where's the bachelor? We're like this. Oh, no bachelor.
It's Tuesday, Toots.
We're not celebrating anything. No bachelor.
A couple of horn dogs.
And didn't they
it was
leave
off
one
nights.
time with a CD tray? And
No,
what
that was something different.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
something different.
that was my.
We ended up paying some strippers. We'll call them strippers.
Sure.
We paid them in like old CDs and a couple of Madden games.
She must have been a good-looking
and
girl.
a giant change jar. We had a bunch of change.
There's some quarters at the bottom of that.
And a mirror, like she
Yes.
was like, I like that mirror, and I was like, you can have it.
like
and they were walking out of our house with bags of change and CDs.
Do you play
and-
Call of Duty at all?
But
Yeah.
that's how we paid them. We figured out once they got there, we didn't have enough money, so they just took shit from around our apartment.
Holy shit.